Hi, welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Bison, and it's Tuesday, so that means we're playing some Cyberpunk Red. Welcome to Carnage Heights. We are going to start the introductions with the lovely Exit.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm here today as Exit. I am also here Tuesdays at
That'd be today.
You Found Me. Um I don't strike that from the record. I'm also here Thursdays as Nora and Sundays as Runa. That's all.
Next, let's go with Red Death.
Hello, I am the Scarred Adventurer. You found me here on Tuesdays playing Red Death. On Thursdays, you'll find me playing Warren Lang, the Cheshire Cat. I don't really have a good, funny thing for that yet. I'll have something eventually. I mean, Red Death is overkill incarnate, but you know. On Sundays, you'll find me hopefully more
Madness
often playing.
incarnate? Or Warren?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it works. On Sundays, you'll find me playing Arthur Wolf, the adopted brother of the group now at this point, or the adopted brother of the Iron Prince, whichever you want to call it. But yeah, aside from that, I'm usually working with the wonderful Tango Productions to eventually bring stuff and things to you. It just takes a while, and I've got another thing coming down the pipeline, which I will talk about closer to its release.
All right, and next, let's go with Magic.
Hey y'all, I play Magic, Broken Heart of the Team Silverlock. I don't actually know if that should be her name anymore, but oh well.
Technically, it's still true
Not in the
because
heart?
the bullet hit her heart. It did
Yeah.
hit her heart.
It did hit her heart.
There's a band-aid on it.
Magic, the Bon Jovi of the team.
Thursday, I am the DM for the City of Mist campaign, Deviant Paradox. On Sunday, I play Rosa Nyx. Why do I end up in combat all the time? On our 7th seat, Shadow of the Vocter, and I'm working with the Scarred Adventurer over on Tango Productions to bring stuff and things eventually.
And lastly, but certainly not least, Kraken.
Hello everybody, I'm Carol, nickname Brilchan. I will play Kraken today, the Slappy Slavic Dionysus, who has many names and many different interests that he wants to pursue. And other than that, I like to chat with everybody on Discord and watch our DD20 archive shows. There is a lot of them and they are all fun and worth watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Your characters are always fun to watch, and they're always the center of whatever spotlight gets put on them. Lastly, I am Bison _Stonefist. I am a regular contributor on this channel, which is a fancy way of saying I have no life. I am here 4 nights a week. Tonight I run the game. On Thursdays, I play Garrett, It's Not a Phase Mom Sakes, the newly found punk of Deviant Paradox. On Saturdays, I play Captain Scooter Hobbs. That's on our Starforged game, Starsworn. And Sundays, I play Gav the Grin, our back alley Batman and suplex machine. Sorry, sewer suplex machine in Shadow of the Vocterm. And that's on Sundays. But we're not talking about Sundays. We're talking about Tuesdays, which is today. Cyberpunk Red was written by Mike Pondsmith and is brought to us by R. Talsorian Games. I'm trying to do this by friggin' memory. That's a bad idea. Our VTT is roll 20. Character art is done through Hero Forge. Pixabay is where we got the background images, and we can thank Thunderscape 7 for turning it into background art. One last thing before we begin. cyberpunk is a world of dystopia, and people do what they have to in order to get by. Morals are optional in Night City. Violence is a requirement, not a choice, and drug use and abuse play a central role in our plot. Our players have an X card for when things get too heavy, but you guys don't. I'm not telling you not to watch the show. I'm just warning you ahead of time that some scenes may not be suitable for all audiences. And if you're going to do drugs, do them responsibly. On to the show. We are going to start with Red Death. After the wake, you went to the Cube Hotel, spent the night on what can only be described as technically a bed, which was about 3 inches short for your frame, and woke from dreamless sleep to the sound of a kibble pack being dispensed in the morning. French toast, not bad. You can hear Kraken and Exit moving outside, along with all the other people who utilize the cubes as a way of life. But at this moment, you have a moment to yourself to be yourself. You just lost your best friend. How does Red Death grieve, if he even does?
Pretty much, it's one of those silent screams in the shower. And there would be a lot of destruction and things like that, but he does not want to pay for the sleep pod.
And to be fair, cube hotels are there's not a whole lot to them. Just about everything folds out and into something else. So if you were to
Honestly,
break something, I was
there's a
going to
lot
say
of
if
sitting
you,
quietly.
yeah, it's a lot of sitting because there isn't a whole lot of room to do much else.
I doubt I can stand fully in this.
just barely. One thing that has left over from the fall of the United States is the 7 foot standard for ceiling heights.
Oh, that's good.
So just barely. The bed's only 6 feet long. But anyways, so you take your shower, you scream. That night plays over in your head and all of the things you weren't able to do. And it's not like you haven't lost people before in the field. I mean, you don't remember them all, but you know this is a familiar feeling, but at the same time it feels new.
It always feels new. It's not a feeling you can ever get used to.
The next couple of days kind of blend together. You're consistently, I'm assuming, trying to throw yourself back into your work.
Yeah.
But
It's mostly taking on assassination contracts. And only assassination contracts.
yeah, you I was going to say you take out your grief on some rather unfortunate criminal elements and not criminal elements, maybe a politician.
I start a gang war, I end that same gang war. It's just a mess.
Yeah. But anytime you try to deal with the Rotten Johnnies or the rainbow, anything to do with rainbow, it's like there's a brick wall. And you realize pretty quick that when Bones said that you needed downtime, he was very firm on that. In moments of distraction, you find yourself glancing at the pages of other people's newspapers. Indy Silverlock spent no time undoing any good Magic did with the Argent Key, now that he's taken formal face position in the Neocorp. He pulled out of the street security they were doing in Carnage Heights within hours of leaving her wake, and secured a lucrative contract with Night City University to replace their clearly failed campus police the next morning. Police reports of drug-addled mobs crisscross the city like a booster ganger's first mag dump. Slums, business districts, shopping malls, upscale neighborhoods, corporate apartments. Nobody seems safe. The worst part of it is the confusion afterwards. People waking up in strange places, soaked in blood and not knowing why. The only good news you read over somebody's shoulder is that the Rotten Johnnies are among the many gangs losing soldiers to these mobs, both from the violence and because rainbow addiction is just that pervasive in Night City now. It seems like the cops are completely useless. They're pouring resources in, or at least they say they are, but all it seems to end up in is just hearing more sirens at night, not less. You're sitting on the bus heading downtown and you get a message from Exit. uh it's pretty simple. Something at the Golden Bone you should see.
I start heading over.
You relocate your bike and head down to the Golden Bone, parking next to Exit's recently redetailed Molly, covered in spray paint after the Death Dealers won their match a couple of nights ago. Downside to parking in the campus when there's a riot.
Yeah.
Give me a awareness perception roll, please.
It's a 17.
17. You clock a robo-taxi sitting at the far end of the club's parking lot, idling patiently. Costs a lot to keep the meter running on one of those things, but you can't tell if it's occupied or not. Heading into the club, I'm actually going to get the rest of you guys to paint the picture here. What were you in the middle of when Red Death arrives? And does he get there before Willow leaves?
I sure hope so.
Yes.
I think it was hugging, just group hug.
We're probably talking about Indy's downfall.
Yes.
Yeah, we're starting to plan that out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know about. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So you walk out of the long hallway.
Can I, if Willow is currently upstairs with Bones, as soon as Exit sees Red Death come in, she's gonna go get Willow. If she can. And like kind of just lean in the doorway and be like, Dark and Brooding's here.
Okay, so yeah.
Just like very calmly walking up.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So Red, you come out of the long dark hallway into the Golden Bone, and it's it's the middle of the day, so it's not like you're seeing a whole lot of like work, but just people cleaning and stuff. But one of the tables near to the bar has I would say almost familiar sight, except for the fact that one of those people is dead. You see Kraken and Exit and a ghost crowded around a laptop and piles of paper.
Red's gonna stand there for a little while. Just kind of, the hell is happening?
Yeah. Exit sees you first. She.
And
sort of-
as like right before she leaves, she's gonna like touch Magic on her shoulder to be like, hey, she's corporeal. She's here.
Yeah. And then so you see Magic sort of look up to Exit. Magic, give me a perception check.
Can't be very hard. He's giant and red.
21.
As Exit, kind of stands up, puts her hand on your shoulder, and you look up to her, and just past her as she turns to go up the stairs to Bones's office, you see him silhouetted against the darkness of that hallway.
Yeah, he's just gonna, because she's just gonna look up and try and be as confident as she can with this. Hey, Red.
Exit had the same reaction.
Blink, blink.
The amount of ass kicking I want to do is, yep,
Me?
yep.
It worked. She saved me.
Please don't kill her. We better
This
get her
is
back.
a lot. This is one of those very, very confusing things of who the fuck is she?
Exit?
Fantastic. Okay.
When Exit gets up to Bones's office, I'm going to describe it because this is the first time anybody's actually been up here.
Yeah.
Bones's private office looks as much like a love palace as it does a place of business. I picked a wonderful time to start describing this. Are you
He
okay?
just took a sip.
Are you okay? Jeez.
I took a huge sip, and my brain went to the jokes of last week about Willow and Bones.
And then I said Love Palace.
Yeah, and it made it so much worse.
Does anyone else hear the song Love Shack playing?
I did almost completely spit take on that one.
That would have been epic. But anyways,
It's only happened 3 times on stream.
like an actual spit take. So yeah, it looks as much like a love palace as it does a place of business. Throw cushions, various big cat prints, wild colors.
Some loose marital aids.
One wall is made of one-way bulletproof glass that Exit knows is at least 3 inches thick. She knows this because she saw it get installed. The air is warm and smoky and smells of cigars and bourbon. Lounge music plays softly from hidden speakers. Bones is sitting in a high-backed chair, a small cord spooled out from his ring finger into a nearby laptop. He has a cigar in his mouth and a highball glass with bourbon swirling idly in his other hand. The images on the screen are moving way too fast for your eyes to track. You don't see Willow.
I think I might know where she is, but hey, Mr. Bones. Is Willow still here?
Bones,
She's just like leading in the doorframe.
yeah. The problem with Mr. Bones being a cyborg is it's really hard to tell when he's like doing something for you or if he's doing something just because he knows he needs to emote with his body. So he looks at you, you can kind of see one of his metal eyebrows arcing, and then he tilts his head a little bit. You would actually have to come fully into the room
She will.
too. And it's not like you haven't been in here before, but it's kind of like walking in on your dad's man cave.
Yeah.
You hear Willow's voice, "I'll be with you in just a second." And then the running of water. A few moments later, she comes out. She's fully dressed. It looks like she had just washed her hair or something. She takes the glass out of Bones's hand and drains it before putting it on the table beside it. You were Exit, right?
Correct.
What can I do for you, hon?
I just came to let you know that Mr. Dark and Brooding is here.
Oh. Spectacular. I'll be down in a moment.
Take your time.
She doesn't. It's just a clingy towel that she just comes down and I'm
He just said she was fully dressed.
sorry. I heard and then did not register.
That's so fair.
I rolled a d10 when I was writing to see if the accusations were true. I'm not telling you what I got.
Hey! You better!
We need to know this.
So, anyways, back to the
Don't.
table with Magic,
better
Red
this
Death,
way.
and Kraken.
Chat's
Hope
not.
his third leg doesn't get rusty.
Stainless steel, buddy.
So Magic is effectively trying to catch Red up on the current plan of how to take Indy down using the information that we have from Pandora's box for blackmail.
Start with a bullet. I mean, all any CEO needs is 3 bullet points, and that's it.
But if we
Please
really
don't let me get canceled for this.
trying to be very serious right now. So if we just use this information, we can get rid of him. Get rid of all of the Argent Key.
What?
And then we shoot him.
After we embarrass him.
Okay, you have your plan. I have my plan.
No idea, no plan. What if we make a baby not corpse, a baby corporation, and then we can embarrass Argent Key so much that we can take over Argent Key because the stock will drop so much. And then you will have the best vengeance on your father. And your mom and Mr. Bones can help.
Could I have come back
Your
by now?
mom is here?
Yeah, she's up with Bones.
I would say it's about this time that Exit and Willow come down. To fill Red Death in, Willow Silverlock I should say Magic Silverlock is a photocopy of her mom. Willow moves with a fair bit more grace, and I'm saying that not as an insult. And instead of keeping her hair free, she has a long braided ponytail. She's wearing, pretty typical street clothes. She wouldn't look out of place in any nightclub in Night City. But you can tell that there's gravitas. Like, she commands this, like, just the simple act of walking down a flight of stairs has everybody just like stopping. She glides over to the table, looks to Magic. This is your assassin friend?
Yes.
Helmet off, dear. Let me look at the man who's kept my little girl safe all these years.
Red takes the helmet off. And of course, it's the usual destroyed bottom half of the face that's been replaced with metal and everything. It looks a bit like Tox, but Tox's is built more to look like the Predator.
Tox has that shock factor slash garburator mouth thing going on.
Yeah. Red's own voice box is still synthetic.
That much augmentation, I'm not surprised.
Not by choice.
Yeah, we've been over that. So as Magic is dying over in the corner, Willow sort of takes a step aside so that the table's not going. She can get a good look at you. She clicks approvingly and winks at Magic. Adrian's got good taste.
How do you mean?
Yeah.
And she invites everybody to sit back down as she grabs her own chair and parks next to you. When I left, my husband and I made a deal. Laura stays out of it. Alan goes to jail. Indy takes over. And my interests stay out of the press. Laura was never supposed to come back to Night City. And she puts her hand on Magic's lap. Adrian didn't pick chance. Eddie did.
Magic's eyes go very wide at that. And Red has seen this face before. She's trying to hold back. There is now
Exit.
rage underneath that she is not.
Exit
she's
kind
not
of
gonna
just
do.
like grabs onto her hand.
Red is trying to remember which one Chance was.
The first bodyguard for Magic that Red Death shot in the head when she went Cyber Psycho and attacked her.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. Red is trying
Yeah.
to remember and just kind of and going and did he and trying to remember that yes, he did in fact kill this person.
And Magic doesn't know.
Red is letting Willow continue before he says anything about that.
I came back because I heard that my daughter was coming to Singapore. And then I found out that she had fallen victim to. And she just sort of like pauses and looks to Magic. Made some unfortunate choices. And then when I got here, she was dead. So I have to have words with certain people, chiefly among them Adrian. But I do not think it is a good idea if you came with me.
It's better they think I'm dead.
I'm sure Indy has already figured it out. If he hasn't yet, then I'm very disappointed in him.
Tried to keep us at the company. I almost
Yeah.
punched that man.
Knowing him, he's too focused on what he's doing and too excited that I'm gone.
He always did want to prove himself. Middle children can be such a handful sometimes. So, dear, what you have is a lot of information, but not a lot of proof. He could just claim that this was doctored.
And that's why if I'm dead, I can investigate this without him ever knowing.
How's that worked out for you before?
Never been dead before. Well,
Not this dead. Well,
Bones is like, wouldn't recommend it. He's not there.
Do we have time to investigate? The city is in rainbow color flames.
I don't think we have another choice.
we
You
can
always
do
have a
both.
choice, dear.
Without proof, this means nothing. That's the next
You don't
thing we
need
have
proof for it to mean anything.
We can just tank the stock prices with rumors. We don't have to have proof.
Proof is pretty powerful, though.
It
It
is.
helps.
That's
I'm not
true.
discounting proof. I'm just.
We
Proof
only
is
need
powerful.
one thing. One bit of proof.
So, what you guys do have is a mountain of information. And I was going to make you guys do some. You're going to be doing rolls anyways for this because you're now all working together to solve this mystery. I was going to get you to do a library search, but I realized that Exit and Kraken spent like 3 days doing that already, basically.
Yep.
So you've got a ton of information. What I want is for each one of you to give me what you want to roll and the justification for why, because there's a ton of things that magic could use, but trying to figure out which is the easiest to prove is going to be the hardest part.
Yeah.
I have a
So-
really easy in for this.
Okay, let's hear yours.
Hi, I'm a fixer. You know what fixers are good at? Getting. Information's one of those things. I would like to roll haggle.
You're not-
To
You're not haggling
search.
with someone, actually. That's the thing, though.
That super sucks.
I-
Give me 1 sec here. I'm just pulling up. Because what I'm saying is you already have the info. You like everything you're pretty sure you need in order to find a physical lead is right in front of you. You guys have spent 3 days using your skills and your connections to build a basis for something. So
I can make an argument for tactics.
I was also gonna say tactics.
I do
I
want a
would
different skill from everybody, though.
Oh, I should have said tactics first.
How high is your tactics?
Level 6, and I have an intelligence of 8.
Yeah, then you take it.
I have an
Mine only goes to
intelligence of
13.
7. Correction.
Mine only goes to 13, so you take that.
Okay.
Because this is education stuff. I don't have a lot of options.
Well, if that's the best thing
Still
you
very good.
have, then you can.
The other thing I would have is criminology, but that only goes up to a 7.
So
I could use deduction, which is lower. But if tactics is the best you have,
Yeah, the only other thing I'd have is interrogation, and that's not going to help us with anything.
Tell me what you know, words.
I mean, that's
Spread
very
slam your
red.
hand on the table.
That's
and
very
just
Red Death way
kick
of like
the
dealing with
word.
it.
because tactics is also the best I have, but I have stuff. Because tactics like the base or whatever is at a 13, but I also have deduction where the base is 11.
Okay.
Base.
My base for tactics is 13, is what I mean.
Okay, then we have
'Cause
the
it's at
same,
level
so
8
you might as
versus-
well just.
Yeah, then I'll take that. Because also for the argument of tactics is that tactically I would want to figure out what is the most effective to use and what is the most reasonable in such a way. Kind of what will net us the highest risk versus reward. Reward versus risk, I mean.
So if Red Death is doing tactics, then I can do deduction or education.
I would say deduction over education, but I will get your roll a little bit later, because that's more of a concluding roll. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yes.
Kraken, what are you going to use?
I'm thinking because if we were searching the library data for 3 days, I cannot use security tech because I was thinking that Kraken is not good with reality. He's good with computers. So the best he could do is try to find more concrete information in the laptop, like some hidden connection or some hidden file. So I was thinking not library search, but electronic security tech, maybe to find some connection in the source file or some hidden encrypted data that we didn't think of before.
What I'll actually get from you, Kraken, is I'd say that you kind of combine ideas.
Okay.
You've got you've got spreadsheets on like a lot of Indy's various activities and what he's been hiding. So you combine that with your skills as a net runner
Yep.
to look through like corporate databases. You can always find somebody's somebody's got a data dump somewhere.
Yeah,
You know.
that feels useful. So just on net
Mm.
running roll.
So a net running combined with the electronic security tech.
Okay, so
Yeah.
first I'm gonna just do interface roll, and then I'm gonna roll a security tech. Okay.
Yeah, not yet though. So because we
Okay.
still need Magic's choice.
Okay.
So the two that I'm stuck between is perception and tracking. I have a 14 in both. Both are intelligence, which I have an 8 in.
I would say tracking would be.
It seems fun. We are tracking our prey.
Well, this is more of like,
especially in combination with tactics, tracking works for.
Yeah, because technically what I'm thinking is forensics, but that's criminology, sort of. But this isn't like cop forensics. This is accounting forensics. This is business, corpo forensics, that kind of stuff.
Would streetwise work over deduction? Because my streetwise is pretty good.
Streetwise would absolutely work.
Yes! I would like to roll that instead then.
Okay.
So then Red would get tactics.
Red was gonna have tactics either way.
Yeah. And then that was all
my
right.
streetwise is better than my tactics anyway.
That's great.
All right, so we will start with Kraken's interface roll as he starts to.
I'm gonna.
You guys have basically moved everything to a. Of course, it is kid's birthday party room. So there's like.
It's got to be never used, considering it's a kid's birthday party room inside a bar.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I crit
It was going to be a nice. That's a really good crit too. That's 23. He rolled an 8 on his explode. Yeah, anyways, it was going to be a daycare idea. Then Mr. Bones got Captain Skull's Happy Time Fun Place, um, which is where the doctor is currently with the chair dog
Chemistry
server.
set.
Yeah, and the chemistry set. All right. So Kraken. So this is I'm gonna say that this is gonna take over the course of like a week. So just so that this is like some
Yes.
solid data you guys get.
Oh, I could definitely be using interrogation then. Sorry, I'm kidding. I just go to people and just interrogate. Yeah.
And electronic security tech as well, or
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, go for that one.
And I would dump 5 pints of luck
Okay.
into that because why not?
Throw that.
I don't think you need
Critzing.
to.
I don't think you need to. Not with a 28 or 27. All right.
Two
So
crits.
Save some good rolls for the rest of us,
Please?
please.
Okay.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah.
Behold, as I crit fail.
That's what I'm worried
Okay.
about.
No,
So
shush,
we
you
start-
shush.
we start this with Kraken being Kraken. Apparently he doesn't need to
Yep.
be on drugs anymore to be Kraken. Um
Because the whole
he-
city is on a rainbow. Kraken just takes the power from the city.
the whole city is like there are conspiracy theory like popping up everywhere. One guy said, or one theory is that it's a big friggin' psyop from one of the big corps that are trying to screw everybody over. A lot of people are blaming Militech because they're the ones who blew up the city last time around.
They get a military base
But
next.
you get into some of the more there isn't a dark net in
Yep.
cyberpunk like there is in the real world. There isn't like a deep web.
It's the slightly darker net.
It's
Shady net, the
Yeah.
night net.
you find basically you're at a night market one night, and you find a node and you pop in, and it's a bunch of other net runners talking about how they found this this weird connection between two corps, and how the money that's coming out of one corp is going into another corp in almost the same denominations. There's overlap where there shouldn't be, but they're really, really iffy on getting names out because you never know who can be watching. Netwatch is everywhere,
Understandable.
which is where your 27 comes in. The 27 is you basically finding the right hacker, the guy who found the original cache. This guy is finding a connection between Giraffa, the housing developments that they're currently working on, and the Argent Key.
Yes.
It's a lot of money in like small amounts, like just enough that the bean counters wouldn't notice it. And that money you link to a bunch of indies projects. Again, it's all electronic, there's nothing physical yet, but it's definitely a sign that there's some sort of graft going on.
Yeah, there's some sort of agreement.
Yeah, there's some sort of agreement between Giraffa and the Argent Key regarding what's happening in Carnage Heights.
Yeah.
Next,
Kraken would give that information to the rest.
yeah. I'm assuming that this is all being freely shared because
Yes.
you're trying to unlock a mystery here. The last thing I need from you, Kraken, is I am going to need you to roll 4d6 for me. I just filled you in.
One moment, I'm gonna do it. 4d6. Sorry, my mouse just trashed from my desk. D6 for open. Okay, D6 for D6. 14.
14.
5, 4, 1, 4.
All right. Next we are gonna do the. Ooh, should we do that one? Yeah, let's go with that one.
Thank you,
Let's
that
get
was cool.
the tracking roll. This is Magic using her abilities and her corporate pull because she was still the face. 22. You're able to figure out how Indy laundered the money and where it went. It went into drug production.
Is he also working with my fucking parents?
Uh,
I think we
Is
know
he the
the
one that
answer.
unfroze me? I don't know.
it's and it's also going into small courier companies.
Okay.
And the thing that is driving you nuts, and it's like you looked at it when you first looked at it, it just completely passed over. Like when you guys were, or sorry, when Exit and Kraken were looking through it, and when you had actually seen it the first time around, it seemed like almost a red herring. Why was this put in here? There's an article about Arthur Messer in here. The guy that has that
Docs talked about the doctor said their old teammate.
yeah.
Government name of Kitty Catman.
Yeah. Realizing that it's immediately Red, do you have a cigarette?
I thought you were quitting.
Do you have one?
Exit kind of pulls out her pack.
Yeah, she'll take one and start smoking because she's mad now. Oh Lord.
Does she share the information?
You get
Oh,
about half.
absolutely.
You smoke about half of it in one drag.
Yeah.
You just want to.
Mhm.
And these
You know,
are
to actually get that effect, they have to put a pin in the cigar or cigarette to keep it from fall. Just a fun thing.
oh yeah.
Now that's impressive. I haven't seen that since Russia.
At the mention of like the drug production and like Exit's putting together that they may be working with her parents, she also lights a cigarette. Magic's never seen her smoke. She started after Magic died. She started again after Magic died.
Yeah, just a
Looks like someone else's drug use is on your head. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm not. Let's be honest.
no, you're not.
No.
I know you're not.
All right. Okay. So, connections. Arthur Messer. Red Death. I forgot what you were rolling. It was
Tactics.
tactics. Thank you.
Would you like that now?
Yes. 20.
20.
Every time you guys roll well, I get scared.
I didn't even roll that well. I just rolled above average.
Yeah, that's not the
Um,
best I can do.
Man.
So from
I rolled a 7.
magic 3d6.
10.
10. Okay. All right. So
Do I need to roll d6?
You got a 20. Yeah, 3d6.
Cool. 11.
Okay. All right.
I got almost the exact same dice. I just rolled a 6 instead of a 5.
Pretty good. All right.
Just to one up.
Just to make him feel better. So with this, what you're doing is you're now thinking, okay, so I hit these guys, and I hit these guys, and I hit these guys. You're basically going through your greatest hits in the last couple of weeks of all the places you and Exit busted up, the piranhas, the dead ends, all those that big bloodbath you caused at the one warehouse.
I'm pretty proud about that one.
Totally understandable. It was a great time. You realize that they had to move their shipping operation closer to their production in order to keep up the volume that they're doing. Which means that whatever net you guys have thrown, it is closing. Let me actually.
It's gonna be in one of these 3 places.
It's a little bit more than 3.
It's gonna be one of these 12 places.
If you say 4, that's enough for each one of us to take one.
It's not gonna be that.
We
I'm
should not
saying.
go alone. If we
Red can
haven't learned that
absolutely go
lesson-
alone.
But you shouldn't. You have someone
Oh,
with
he
a
shouldn't.
brain dance recorder. Please. I don't use the thing.
So
Yeah.
you guys have basically ruled out the upper marina as wherever this production facility is. So I'm scribbling all over the map.
That just shows up.
Yeah, you guys are the only ones that see.
Oh no, it only shows up once you're done.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was just like, woo, just all over the place.
So in the upper marina?
The upper marina is a definite no. Given
wonderful.
the speed of the reaction that you guys had at the university, this is the general feel of where you think it is. Basically, Little Europe, the university district itself, most of South Night City, which is a big spot, and a little bit of the Glen. Interesting enough, actually, no, where was that? I'm trying to remember where the frat house was. I think it was somewhere over here. I remember it was in the Glen, and considering that's the university district, it would be nearby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is the Glen then included in our search zone?
It would be
The
hard
circle
to.
is kind of like where you believe, there's obviously some, it could be here, it could be outside just a little bit, but
It would be hard to do it in the Little Europe or University District because those are very safe, very corporate. So
they're safe and corporate, but right now there is no place that's safe except for maybe the executive zone. And that's because it's the executive zone. Which brings me to Exit and your streetwise roll. 22. You get a location. You had to call in just about every favor you had on the west side. Like,
She'll be owed more. It's okay.
Eventually that's going to pay forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, I clicked on the wrong tab. There we go. It's, where did I say it was going to be? It's
None
right
of us
here.
know. Where?
Well, draw it again. It's right here. Just off the overpass.
Okay.
Like in one of the safest parts of the city. Outside of the
course.
executive zone. It's close to exposed sewer lines, unused light rail. It's near the hot zone, so you can hide things that would be tracked that can't be tracked because of the magnetic interference. And the fact that it's right near the overpass means it's easy to get onto the highway and disappear. I would like you to roll me 4d6.
46.
Think
Yeah.
I'm scared of those 46
12.
rolls.
All right.
Could have
So
the roll could have been better.
It
Okay,
could have been
but we got a
worse.
10, 11, 12 all in order, so I see good luck coming to us.
okay.
And a
So,
14.
Please.
And the 14 is literally exactly the average for what you'd roll with 46.
So it's so it takes you a couple of days, or I said a week. During this time, Magic, you don't really hear from your mom that much. She's clearly very busy. The times you do talk to her, it's never in person. It's always over the phone. She's always in a different place. One time she's at home. One time she's at the afterlife. One time she's like, it looks like she's not even in Night City, but it's only been 3 days. So how the fuck did she leave town already? But it's also hard to tell. Every time it's like she's calling to check in on you. How are you doing? Are you feeling, any symptoms? I'd love to chat more, but
Classic mom conversations.
Classic mom conversations. And it's on the day that Exit figures out the location that you get a call from Bones. And he wants you to come into his office.
All of us? I assume so.
Just Magic.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I'll go in.
So your first time in the room, it smells like somebody just fucked in here. And but again, you just see Bones. He's sitting, he's wearing his usual attire, the zoot suit, the fedora is hanging on a you thought it was a hat rack, but when you look again, it's actually a 50 caliber BMG in a umbrella stand, and he's just hung that on the buttstock.
Okay.
It unlike when Exit came in, when you did, there's actually like a little fire going in a fireplace that wasn't there when Exit was. And the two high back chairs are kind of like facing the fireplace and each other. You can see Bones kind of like wave you over. And clearly I need to check out what's going on in chat. Totally different cabinet. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I don't know if it was chat or as much the fact I did paid me like one of your French girls pose.
I missed that. But anyways, yeah. So, Bone's like, come on, sit down.
She sits.
Drink, smoke.
Not at the moment. We've been really focused on figuring this out.
So I've heard.
Looks like Exit might have a location.
That was fast.
It's what I
Exit.
do.
So I gotta ask you, did it get freaky for you too?
It was peaceful.
Cabin?
Swing.
Nice. What's it like being back?
It's Night City. It's always chaos.
He chuckles. Gonna ask again. How are you?
If I stay focused, I don't think how close I came to fucking up.
Here's the shitty thing about Night City. You can do everything right. You can do everything by the book. Like, perfect score. And still end up in a ditch. It's not about fairness here. It's about winning the coin toss.
Yeah. And I already know that and she uses her head to point at the door. I realize how lucky I got this time. Especially since this is number 5.
First time it stopped, though.
First time my heart stopped.
It'll stay in the back of your head for a while. I got this close. But you made it.
I will tell you the only reason I did was Exit. She unstabilized me. I want to be here.
You got a good crew, Magic.
I know more than I used to.
Trust your crew. You're almost as much a fixer as she is.
I'm much closer to a rocker than I
A
am.
little out of work now, but you got what it takes. Magic. You're more than your parents. As absolutely astonishing as your mother is.
I'm not my dad. Thankfully.
You're better than him. I've seen it.
Why'd I have Twitch open? Why did I think I could have Twitch open?
Because you thought you were safe.
I thought I was safe because I didn't see that, Kyle.
This time it was me. Sorry.
And I'm not quite my mom. What I was always good at was finding information and then putting it out for everyone to see.
And now you've got a location.
And now we've got a location.
So the question is, what are you going to need from that location before you tell everyone else?
I'm hoping if we can get in there, find something that physically ties Indy to that place. His coffin sealed.
Good. It's
And
good to
then-
know it's not a problem if it's family.
There's no such thing as family within Silverlocks. But there is family among this team.
So I'm going to let you in on something. That place you're going to. It's going to have answers you're not going to understand right away. I'm not going to tell you how I know that. But it's definitely going to have answers. I want to know what you're going to do with them if they're not answers you want to hear.
Information is information. It's always had its power. So the question is, how do you use information even if you don't like it? And she kind of leans on to the chair without sitting. I've come to realize that Red seems to have some form of connection to my family, more than I ever thought. That doesn't change the fact that he's been there for me more than anyone else in my life outside of this team. So yeah, if I realize that he's been working for Adrian this whole time, I'm gonna have questions.
He probably will too.
Probably.
Your boy's got a lot of holes in his head. I'm not talking about bullets. What he knows is probably not what he's supposed to know or what he needs to know to answer your questions. Killers like him generally don't meet their clients.
Yeah, and there's always a reason for that. But isn't not knowing worse than knowing the truth?
Truth doesn't always set you free.
No, the truth hurts like a bitch. But at least it's the truth. Facts matter.
Facts matter. Before you go in all guns blazing, do some recon first.
I am going to push for no guns blazing for once.
The glass is soundproofed, Red Death. They can't hear you booing from the... A Red Death Redemption. God. So you go. You guys do what you're gonna do. And no, you have to shoot me, okay? Don't do that this time.
That was only because of the rainbow, and I didn't know how to stop myself from not getting Exit killed.
There's always a choice.
If you've ever been on Rainbow, then you know there's not much of a choice. It's not you in control, it's the cat.
I have been on Rainbow. I'm on it right now. Great thing about not having blood is nanites can't travel through it. I'm getting some really interesting information and very vivid hallucinations.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a fireplace over there?
Yes.
Oh shit, I'm not hallucinating that.
No.
Oh, okay. How did it get there?
I don't know. It was in here when I walked in.
That's your contractor.
That's your god.
Kraken probably installed it.
Don't even know. So Bones, he doesn't like wave you off, but it's pretty.
He's done with the conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty clear the conversation. He said what he needed to say,
Mm-hmm.
and he got out of you what he needed. What that is, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, it's not like magic is just like, okay, yeah, Bones being weird again. Let's go.
So we kind of fast forward to, we'll say, a day or two later. What recon have you guys done on this?
Exit and Red have likely gone in, and Exit has like brain danced everything.
Okay,
Ideally.
so when you get there, like this place is guarded.
Mm-hmm.
Red's been keeping near enough to watch Exit, but not enough to watch anything else, and it's just I rolled a 16 for stealth.
Okay.
It's not my best.
If magic is
If you
allowed
want me to re-roll, I will.
No, it's good. Sorry, what was that, Magic?
if magic is allowed to join in on this, she will have
No.
been watching people.
That no, you don't. We talk about things. What were you saying?
She would have been watching them, and if she was allowed to use Red Death's sniper to see if she can just watch people through the windows and read lips, she just used the scope.
No, he's not giving you any guns.
She doesn't want the gun. She just wants.
She doesn't do violence. What is your concern here?
She
There have
just
been
wants
enough
your
ideas
concerns.
that
That's it.
no, it's more just the Red doesn't hand over his weapons. Why? Red loves his weapons. He does not hand over his weapons.
Kraken could made you a binocular or find you a binocular.
I have binoculars.
Red really likes his
They're
guns.
not
He's not
so-
giving them away. Like
Yeah, she'll
even
just
to
use her-
borrow.
Fine, she'll just use her binoculars then, because Red's being mean about the scope. And read lips.
Look, it's integrated into the rifle. No.
And reading lips to get information.
Sorry. Just have to say one thing.
Mom said
Mom
it's
said
my
it's
turn
my
with the
turn with the
scope.
All right. So
No, Magic actually does not have a drone. She has binoculars, a video camera, and like a homing tracer.
Yeah, it's although a drone, like a camera drone, isn't a bad thing to have. It's actually a really good idea. They'd be a little expensive in 2045
Yeah.
to get one small enough that could
Yes.
do that and not be really loud and noisy.
Notice.
Yeah.
Is there any way to sneak in?
Give me a awareness perception and a whichever tactics is in. I didn't look.
It's in education.
Education. I thought it was education.
If there's trying to get into a secret way, I'm also gonna have to do an awareness perception.
Perception 17, tactics 21.
There is a way in that's you don't have the type of gear really necessary. You'd have to scale the wall.
Could Kraken try to either find them the gear or craft the gear? Because I don't see Kraken trying to scope out the place because he's too.
It's professional like climbing
Yeah.
gear.
Okay.
You'd either have to climb up the wall or rappel down from the overpass, and that's like a 200-foot drop.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Red's thinking rappel up the wall. He has some rope and a hook that he can beat someone for. He just ties it to the end of it and just. Nope.
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah, with a 16, it's. I mean, physically you're able to do it, but given the time of day, the
Yeah, I'll probably avoid
level
doing
of
it.
yeah, like just the general level of traffic in the area, because there's an off ramp right there. It's a little. I'm pointing like you can see my thumb hooking off screen. Like there's an off ramp, so there's almost always somebody watching something.
Yeah, that's something Red would have to do at night.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, Night City doesn't sleep.
No.
Night City laughs at sleep and takes another smash that has caffeine in it.
I hear that.
I had coffee before the game. Yes, Pigeon's a very, very expensive spy.
If we can't get in that way right now, what is the likelihood that a haggle would work?
Did get a perception out of you. You're not really sure. Guards are usually pretty bribable, but drugs are involved. Drugs that affect human perception and their willingness to do things. So you're not sure if these guys are dosed or not.
Could I roll resist torture drugs to see if the guards are on a rainbow? To tell that to exit? Because Kraken is kind of the rainbow specialist on the team.
That is true. It depends. Are you with? I'm going to say that like Exit and Red Death are very clearly on the ground. Magic
I
is
think
elsewhere.
Kraken would be with magic.
Okay.
Like backup with magic, and he would try to observe with her, like
so
switching the binoculars. Like
that's what I was thinking, switching back and
yes,
forth.
because
So if I can get a
buddy system.
Yeah, exactly. If I can
said
get
it's my turn with the scope.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
I'm just call back, always good.
So if I can get a lip reading for magic, and a resist torture drugs from Kraken.
18.
And I have 2 points of luck left for this session,
Okay.
so I would use them now.
So 18 and 18. Magic, you don't get a lot. I mean, you guys are a fair bit away, but you do have binoculars, so it helps. The one thing that you get is the safe word, the code word to get in is daffodil. Kraken, you can't tell if they're on drugs, but you'd recognize Tommy anywhere, no matter
Oh, shit.
what he's wearing. He's one of the guards.
Kraken would like use the combi to say, "Don't kill the guards. Tommy's there. Tommy is a guard."
We're not planning on having gunfire, Kraken.
We're not.
We are
Not right
staying-
off the bat.
We're staying quiet, Red.
And now
Magic, have you gotten anything?
Code words daffodil if you want to get in.
Wicked.
we need to make an extraction for Tommy as well.
No, we came for reconnaissance today.
And
We stick with reconnaissance.
every single one of the packages that went in was had a Rally Courier Services pack or sticker on the box.
Exit is gonna like take a breath, confidently walk up and say daffodil, like she's meant to be there.
Give me a
Acting?
I'm actually going to go with wardrobe and style roll.
I'd really loved if it was acting. 16.
You don't get to the door before Tommy recognizes you.
Cool.
And he's like, I don't think you're supposed to be here, man.
I think you don't know everything about me.
But like, I know what you do, man, and I know who you're friends with, and they're not friends with us anymore.
Things change. Wouldn't you say?
But like, you're not supposed to be here, man.
Is that all you're gonna say to me?
I can't let you in. I know you're not like supposed to be here.
This guy's so annoying.
Give me a human perception roll. He's stoned to the gills. He's high out of his fucking tree right now.
Out of character, out of scene. My brain is just going, are you sure you're supposed to be here, man?
No,
My
magic
brain-
is magic
My
me.
brain keeps playing the Dave's not here bit from Cheech and Chong, because that's
Yeah.
where I got the voice. Is Tommy Chong. So
Just take him for a smash.
I wasn't
Once-
supposed to be here. How do you think I got here? Pretty exclusive, wouldn't you say?
didn't somebody like steal a car for you?
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that's how you got here.
But don't you think if I wasn't meant to be here, that I would know where to go?
Lots of buildings in Night City that look like this one. Magic, you and Kraken are watching this whole exchange.
Yeah,
Red's watching through a
there's-
sniper scope.
Yeah, and Magic
Like
is
a
honestly
building away.
just like, dude, I know it's Tommy, but
Kraken would be
Um,
extraction.
Exit
end him.
Is just
Oh, I
gonna
thought we
look
weren't
him
supposed
dead
to
in
kill
the
anyone
eyes
today.
and
Well,
say,
he's pissing me off.
Daffodil.
How are you supposed to know that?
I told you. I'm meant to be here.
Give me
Now-
a haggle.
Yeah. 27. And that's not even the highest I can roll.
Okay then. He'll let you buy if you give him some drugs.
We
He-
had Rainbow. Exit probably.
Would
There
have made
was-
would have made absolutely sure Kraken wasn't anywhere near it.
Yes.
Or
But
Magic.
knowing that she had that and knowing where she was going, she would have grabbed some.
Or would have just given him some baking powder.
Doesn't she have anything better? Because if she gives him
Why
a
would Exit have
rainbow-
anything better?
Because
She
she's
had
a
rainbow
fixer.
capsules. Why would she have any? Okay, but she doesn't know that she specifically needs drugs. She's just gonna grab what she knows and what she has.
Oh.
Exit's not a
Sure.
druggie. Why would she have?
Sure, I've got some
anything
drugs. Here you
else?
go. What is this, Red? It's arsenic.
So she's
Maybe give him food.
gonna hand him like the couple capsules of rainbow that she has in a bag in her pocket.
Maybe you are supposed to be here.
I told you. It wasn't worth arguing with me for that long.
But like I have a job now.
Good for
I
you,
guard.
Tommy. And you're doing great.
Okay.
And she's just gonna like pat him on his shoulder before she goes in.
Yeah.
I did it.
Kraken
What sort of check do I need to do to get there as quickly as possible so I can then sneak in somehow?
Exit is gonna send you a text. Be like, if you can't get in, I will call you. I will call you if I need you.
Okay, so
It's still going to do what he can to get in, but at the same time,
That's why she said if you can't get in.
if he can't, he'll send you a message saying I can't get in. Let me know when to.
Kraken would be like,
Guns
it's a
akimbo.
bad idea.
Exit will say, I'll let you know if I need plan B, which would be violence.
All Bs, all Plan Bs are the same Plan B.
Yeah.
So
Red Death's like, just let me know if you need to. Gun emoji, gun emoji, gun emoji, gun emoji. Explosion emoji, fire emoji.
there's a question.
Smiling face with thumbs up emoji.
There's a question that Magic sends out of how much would you think you'll believe a ghost?
This man is so dense.
No. You
So
just
high
receive
right
a
now.
no in response with a period. To
She's just gonna
accentuate
say, save
how much
yourself the
no.
brain power.
The rainbow will take over him. It was a bad idea, Kraken would say.
He's already high as fuck.
He's already on something.
Yeah, you think
This
it matters?
is like
This
the
could kill
last
him.
time. The last time Kraken saw Tommy, you had put him into the rehab center,
Yep.
and now he's out with all the other junkies.
Meaning he's still
Yes.
on
So
Rainbow.
it's all the same.
He was clean and now he's taking everything, so it's that
Now
much
he's-
stronger.
Now he's messed up again.
Yeah. Kraken is very sad for his friend.
You're gonna
So
be even sadder soon.
Mhm.
I'm gonna need an athletics check from Red Death for the speeding.
16.
Not great.
I'm not rolling better.
And a
before.
stealth roll.
If I roll a 16 on this as well, I'm going to be pissed. 19.
Better. Middle of the road. All right. So you don't get there in time to follow exit in, but
I didn't think I was.
You did get there in time to see a like a bike courier go by, and he's got an RCS bag. So you clothesline him. He's
Thank
now
you.
unconscious on the ground, and you take his bag. Give me another stealth roll.
20.
20.
I mean, I look like a bike messenger anyways.
In
And
red.
Motorbike messenger, but still.
and also Tommy's even higher than he was 5 seconds ago. 12.5% of the texts are just Red Death. No. Bad assassin. Bad. No bloodbath for you.
From Magic, it's Red Death, no. From Red Death, it's Magic, no.
Yeah, but it's also all of the Red Death no are followed by but what if yes?
What if yes? So you get by Tommy. I don't know how he managed to not recognize you, but he didn't.
He just puts on his old timey radio like hawker voice. Oh, delivery, sir! Ready for everything to be picked up. It's not something he can do. I'm just pretending he can.
You can now.
Okay.
He has a collection of terrible accents.
Right,
So-
Gov, we need to make sure that this delivery gets right in. Yeah? All right, right, blimey. I'm right chuffed, am I?
Yeah, the other guard
Why
is
me?
the other guard doesn't appear to speak English. So he has no idea what's going on. He's just seeing that the guard that normally lets people in is letting this guy in. So he's just like stands threateningly.
Good.
So
That saved his life.
this place looks like a tenement building. You know, another failed housing project. But it feels like a sweatshop. There are people coming in, coming out, you know, packaging. You see a group of people, you know, pressing them into pills, pushing them down to the next. And exit, you can tell that the ones that don't move like zombies are shackled to the floor.
She's making sure to like pay attention to that for like a few moments because as soon as she got in, she started recording.
Mhm. Give me a conceal reveal object roll.
It's in my noggin.
I know.
Is that in technique?
Oh shit! I think it's
Help!
actually.
Bob.
I think it's awareness.
It's awareness,
actually.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, you're so right. 17.
17. And then actually an awareness perception check from Red Death.
Also 17.
Okay, and the comet awareness. Your rolls just don't like you tonight. It's like
They're not doing well tonight. No.
roll above a 5. Nah.
Roll any number other than 4. We'll see about
Yeah,
that.
pretty much. Was Red Death 4 Shin? Anyways,
It works perfectly, yeah, but still.
So while Exit's trying to, basically look without looking, Red Death, you're keeping an eye out on, the various guards. You don't get a whole lot of time in every real area. But because you're just kind of like being moved, like, oh wait, pushers go here. And you get to the sort of like production room floor, more or less. And it's the entire second floor of the building. The walls have all just been knocked out, minus the load bearing struts. And it's vats, and it hurts your eyes just looking at it. Exit. Red Death's okay because he's got a helmet on.
And my eyes are synthetic.
And your eyes are synthetic.
My eyes are augmented.
It's gross in here. There's way too many people. And most of them have some sort of burn or scar on their hands, or you can see like patches where something has hit clothing and eaten through, but they're still wearing the clothes because they're high and they don't care. Exit, roll me resist drugs and torture.
Is it in the air?
Contact high.
No, this is Exit resisting the urge to retch.
Oh, great.
It's because it's not just the chemical smell, it's the smell of people who have not been able to leave for a very long time. And it stinks like the worst parts of Night City. Again, Red Death is okay because the guy has nasal filters.
I built a
Is
poisonous
Exit
assassin.
okay?
That was the idea.
Exit, you start to cough. And that draws attention.
She's like getting a scan because she knows that once she can view the BD, we can like zoom in and stuff. And she's gonna try to move along as quickly as possible as to not draw too much attention.
Yeah.
But like trying to get a good scan of the room.
Yeah. It's hard because at this point your eyes are watering. It's getting really hard to breathe. You're not like, oh my God, I'm going to die kind of breathe. It's just like, I got to take small breaths or I'm going to puke again.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily,
how close is Red Death to Exit at this as well?
Within 5 feet. Like you guys are just.
Yeah, red hands or a handkerchief, some kind to breathe through instead.
Are you guys new? You hear a voice from behind you.
Yeah, sorry.
They usually don't let the newbies on the production floor. All right, dump your shit over there and then.
Oh, no, I was just deciding to take a tour. I just wanted to see.
Okay, I'm going to have to cut the curtain here because that is when we roll initiative.
Red pulls out a knife and immediately puts it underneath the guy's chin, like, "Oh, don't worry, guy." Like, no, just like a hug. One of those
I
quick.
wanted to evacuate Tommy.
Okay,
You don't know what's happening inside, correct?
yeah, you don't know
Yeah,
what's
I
happening
know,
inside.
but when she was doing that, I was thinking that because Kraken thinks that Tommy and Gina are part of his pack, so he would try to take Tommy away from this place to have a test subject for his project.
The
Okay,
thing is, Red is
so-
trying to quickly eliminate him without any big sound or commotion.
Okay, give me. I'm not going to make you do an attack roll. I'm going to make you do a conceal reveal object because you are trying to conceal this knife
Conceal
in this
knife
guy's
in him.
neck. Hold on, I need to conceal
Yep.
this dagger in your chest. Or
Nope.
under your 7. Okay.
Oh,
So
Can I? What do I need for luck to re-roll that?
yeah, just give me a reroll. It's the end of the session.
Okay. Because that was a 2, and that's. I won't get much better than like the highest I'll be able to do is a 20, with like within reason of critting and exploding. God damn it!
Okay, so
How high are these people?
it's not so much how high, it's whether or not you got the sneak attack when we roll initiative next session. Basically what happens is, any smart tactical operative who's going to use a knife to stab somebody uses ones that's been blackened. The problem with blackened steel is it still reflects on the edge. You pulled that knife out, and just as you were about to go towards him and, do what you were going to do, that knife caught just the barest bit of light, and he saw it.
Shit.
So that is we're
I
going
just
to
need
call.
to be. I just need a 23 to be fast enough. That's all I know.
yeah.
So I would like to thank everybody for playing tonight.
Now
Thank
I'm
you.
scared for Tommy.
Yeah,
He's
as
gonna die.
Not your
as-
actual friends who are in there.
as
No,
as
magic is.
He doesn't know.
I'm worried about our friends.
as Brill, I'm because Kraken,
Yeah.
you said you were going to go talk to Tommy.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
just wants to get him out of there, even
Yeah,
headlock.
and magic is just trying to get him to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Magic and Kraken are,
Because magic's gonna have to hide if
she's
Gets
trying
too
to
close.
stop him from going through the door.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Everyone
Exit
can
and
see
Red
it sticking
Death-
out of your spleen.
Yeah. So
Yes,
I would like
because
to
Kraken
thank.
is stupid like that. He just views certain people as friends
He's
and
a
he wants
puppy.
to help friends.
he's
He has
yeah.
no impulse control.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Autistic, ADHD, and addicted to alcohol.
Yeah. So I would like to thank Exit. I would like to thank Red Death. I would like to thank Magic. And I would like to thank the Choir of Krakens and all of their bad ideas.
Thank you. You did amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bison.
I was really worried I wouldn't have a session tonight. So I'd like to thank you guys for giving me enough to work with, for working with my half-baked mechanics.
And now you have an entire thing to work with.
And now I have an
Yeah.
entire
Yes.
thing to fuss about for next week.
And you did amazing.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I see Siosa, I saw Batkyle, I see Fox. Thanks for watching. If you're on the YouTube channel, you're watching the VOD, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get updates on all our games. We are going to be streaming potentially 6 nights next week, because we say potentially because Saturday is always up in the air. And so yeah, we got a fun one shot on Monday, and then we have games Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So yeah, that's actually 5. Because Up the Creek's done, because I can't count. And in today's world, there are a lot of reasons to be angry, a lot of reasons to be mad, but what the world needs is more people to be kind to each other. Because you never know what, like, everybody's going through their own shit.
Perfect time.
And you're hot mic'd. And if you don't have the energy to be kind to each other, at the very least, be nice. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Night, y'all.
Good night.